Hi there, this is Jeanette Comerford for Whimsy Stamps. Today's video is part of Whimsy's 12 Days of Christmas, which is running between December 13th and December 24th, 2015. You will find more details below this video on YouTube as well as on my blog. And I am making a holiday shaker card today. I used the Little Enora rubber stamp from Whimsy as well as the Happy Hanukkah clear stamp set. Now this card could easily be switched up for another holiday. You would just have to change the color palette, maybe modify the cookies on the tray a little bit, and then you would have another type of holiday card. So to start off, I'm going to be taking the image, and it's already cut out and put on my mounting block, and I'm going to ink it up with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. This is the ink I like to use when I'm coloring with Copics, and I'm stamping it off on Nina cardstock, which is my preferred cardstock for Copic coloring. Now for the coloration portion, I am just going to put on some music for you, and I will catch you at the end of that, and I'll go through how to create the rest of the shaker component of the card. So once my image is all colored up, I am just going to fussy cut it. So that means I'm just cutting it around the edges as close to the black line as possible. And for this little part here, I am just using my Tim Holtz tool to cut it out. I am adding some white highlights in the eyes with a gel pen in white, and a little bit on the aprons and on the cookies here so it looks like icing. And then I put some polka dots on the mitts. For the rest of my card, I cut out a piece of watercolor paper. This is Strathmore watercolor paper. It's 140 pounds. And I'm starting off by sponging on some Hero Arts soft yellow ink. Now I've sped this up quite a bit because I do go a little bit slowly. I like to build my color gradually so that I get a nice depth of color, it doesn't get too dark, and that it blends really nicely together. This second color is Simon Says Stamps Maliblue color. And you can see I'm almost covering all of that yellow. I just want a little bit of the pure yellow at the top, and the rest is going to be blended with this blue. So again, when you're doing this, it'll be slower, but the slower you go, I think, the nicer the outcome. This last color is Simon Says Stamp Blue Jay, and it's a really pretty blue, and it blends really nicely with the Maliblue color. So for this color, I really built it up along the bottom edge. I wanted that to be nice and dark. And then I went back in with the Maliblue and blended those two together a bit more. And then I took my Stampin' Up! Big Notes die and I centered it on the die and cut it out. And I'm going to save both parts to make my shaker card. So what I'm doing is I'm just using some Post-it tape right now, placing that sort of frame onto it so that I have a good idea of where the insert goes. And then I'll just pop that right off. This is a piece of acetate, and you just have to peel there's like a blue, clear blue plastic on either side. So you have to peel that off. And now I'm going to adhere that down. Now, in hindsight, I would have not put the acetate on yet, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. So here I'm just sort of moving the adhesive, so none of it will be showing on my acetate, and I'm going to adhere it. And now I'm taking some foam tape, sort of measuring that out, and it's quite wide, so I'm cutting it in half. And I'm going to sort of lay it across the back here. And then I'm going to take a pair of scissors and sort of cut along any area that's showing. Now, as I was saying, in hindsight, I would have actually traced the template onto my foam tape first. Then I would have put the clear acetate on, and then I would have had the foam tape already cut to size. But this was actually not so hard to do. So I'm just sort of cutting it. I folded it in half and recut the shape, and you can see it just goes along the side. And then I flipped it over, and if there was any of the foam showing across the edges, I just cut that off. I did that for all four sides, made sure that I didn't leave any gaps with the adhesive tape here. Now originally I had put my glitter and my sequins, and I had put them all in the middle of my acetate window, and then I realized I wasn't going to be able to see to position them, so then I put them all in the middle here, and then I brought my acetate window to the card base. And that way I was able to really make sure that everything lined up properly. So you can see that everything is moving around in there. It's really pretty. It's a nice shaker card. So now I'm going to be able to add my image. So I'm going to just put that on with some tape. I didn't have my video camera on when I stamped the sentiment. I apologize for that. It was stamped with some white pigment ink. And then I did not end up liking those pink oven mitts very much. I didn't like how it looked with the rest of the coloration. So I took a Prismacolor pencil and I covered over top of the mitts and I blended it with some Gamsol. And I sort of liked how that ended up looking a bit better. It sort of blended nicer with the jeans and her dress. So I was happy that that worked. And so that is the shaker card completed. You can see how it moves. If you would like to see the full list of supplies and links, you can find that below this video on YouTube, as well as on my blog dated December 21st, 2015. And if you wish to know more about the 12 days of Christmas, please find the link below this video on YouTube or on my blog. Thank you.